Good happy Saturday morning, March 9th, 2019. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, Salem restaurant owner sentenced for tax evasion. Prosecutors Romano's pizza owner paid employees in cash to avoid taxes. The owner of a Salem restaurant was sentenced to more than a year in prison for tax evasion, the U.S. Attorney's Office said on Friday. Blake Rigrio, 44, of Salem, pleaded guilty in November 2018 to filing to pay $621,614.88 in federal taxes for employees at Romano's Pizza. Prosecutors said Rigrio paid a substantial portion of wages in cash, failed to declare them to the Internal Revenue Service to reduce his tax liability, and keep multiple sets of books. Those who act dishonestly to avoid paying their fair share of taxes undermine the integrity of the tax system, said U.S. Attorney Scott Murray. We will continue to work with the IRS to identify and prosecute those who violate our tax laws. Rigrio was sentenced to 12 months and a day in prison. Skier dies in collision on Kennon Mountain. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Siobhan Lopez.
Do you need to replace your roof this year? Call Century Roofing today to arrange a free estimate. Call now to take advantage of our spring special and get $500 off your total roof replacement. Century Roofing, we've got you covered.
Breaking news at 6, a skier at Kennon Mountain has been killed. Cannon's general manager says there was a two-skier crash about 2:45 this afternoon. The person who was killed was brought down the mountain about 15 minutes later, and right now they're waiting for the medical examiner to release the body. The second person involved in the accident was sent to Littleton Hospital with several injuries, but was conscious and alert. State police say they are at the mountain right now investigating.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Survivor of fiery crash meets men who rescued him. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Kristen Carosa.
Here at Ippolito's, we sell generational furniture. USA-made furniture built to stand the test of time. All the info.
First alarm. Motor vehicle accident with fire on Main Street near the Marlboro Town Line. This video is now ingrained in the minds of Sam LaChance and his family. In a matter of moments, Sam's Jeep crossed over the center line after police say it appears he fell asleep at the wheel or lost consciousness while driving in Dublin. You can see the vehicle crashing into an oncoming tractor trailer, causing an explosion. But what you don't see is the 3 men who rushed in to save Sam's life. And today, after a month of recovery, Sam had the chance to say thanks.
I don't even know if the feeling is describable. It was so incredibly overwhelming of happiness.
Mark and John Kramer captured the crash video, drove through the flames, and then ran to pull Sam from his car with the help of bank Promploy. Their early actions now being praised by first responders.
You can't really think of anything at that moment. You just have to act on it, you know. I'm just glad I was there to be able to help. It's just the right thing to do.
It's a blessing. It's a miracle. It's just wonderful seeing him standing up and walking, talking.
How will that all happen, even from moving on from us and the first responders taking over? It really is a miracle how everything took place.
Sam's parents are thankful no one else was hurt in the accident, including the driver of the tractor trailer, and are having a hard time finding the words for the men who helped save their son.
We just are so glad there are people like that in the world, and so glad you get to meet people like that and that they can affect your life the way they have.
In Dublin, Kristen Carosa, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Manchester shooting, victim's boyfriend arraigned on unrelated charges. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Andy Hirschberger.
GMI Asphalt is currently accepting job applications to join our team. We have an aggressive pay scale. Health insurance benefits. Both men and women are urged to contact the office of GMI Asphalt or visit us on the web at gmiasphalt.com.
Prosecutors told a judge that Jeremy Winslow was a threat to the community and a flight risk as he was arraigned on drug and motor vehicle charges. Winslow is the boyfriend of Tanya Hall, who was shot and killed last weekend in Manchester. Winslow's lawyer says the couple was fleeing a confrontation at a local bar when the deadly shot was fired.
Mr. Winslow went to the Manchester Police Department because his girlfriend, who had been with him, Tanya Hall, had been shot. And leaning against him as they drove to the police department, she died.
He was approached by some people looking for trouble. He did not fight. He did not cause problems. He didn't fight. He fled. A danger to the community doesn't flee.
But prosecutors say they found cocaine in Winslow's car and learned he didn't have a license. They told the court he has warrants in 3 states, including New Hampshire, and a long criminal history that goes back to 2002.
In 2004, he has a federal conviction for sale of a controlled drug in which he served 144 months stand committed, which was a plea bargain with the DEA.
Prosecutors had asked for $10,000 bail. Winslow's lawyer asked for only $2,000, saying he's the real victim here.
He is the victim of a crime that seems to have been overlooked by the state during this particular hearing. But he is a victim of a crime, and he wants justice for himself, and he wants justice for his deceased girlfriend. It's not going anywhere.
Winslow has in no way been implicated in that homicide. The judge said that she will review all of the evidence before setting bail. Reporting live in Manchester, I'm Andy Hirschberger, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Memorial plans made for fallen Berwick firefighter. Captain Joel Burns killed while fighting blaze at apartment building. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9, Jennifer Crompton.
Do you need to replace your roof this year? Call Century Roofing today to arrange a free estimate. Call now to take advantage of our spring special and get $500 off your total roof replacement. Century Roofing, we've got you covered.
Berwick, Maine firefighters honored their brother, Captain Joel Barnes, with a moment of silence Friday morning, timed to match the moment exactly 1 week earlier that he was called to a fire that would be his last. An apartment building engulfed, a mayday call in for someone trapped, Seacoast crews among those at the 4-alarm blaze when it was realized that the 32-year-old firefighter and paramedic didn't make it.
He was one very laid-back and easygoing kind of guy.
Today, his chief and fellow fire captain, among many, recalling a leader and mentor who typically went above and beyond the call of duty.
Perfect example of that, by leading by example, is an incident that Joel responded to in town. Was during a snowstorm. After going inside and treating this patient, he went outside and shoveled the walkways, shoveled the steps, put some sand and salt down.
The outpouring of support from far and near evident, from the bunting and business signs in town to the letters from children.
The kids loved him. He loved dealing with the public. Spent a lot of time in doing fire prevention in the schools.
Officials also sharing details of a public memorial on Sunday.
Joe is a true hero.
Yeah. Definitely going out as a hero. Definitely going out as a hero.
Well, a motorcade will transport Captain Barnes' body to the Cross Insurance Arena in Portland with bagpipers along the final approach. A memorial service, a public one, will begin at 11 o'clock there with a private burial to follow. We're live in Berwick, Maine. Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at what events are happening today in New Hampshire on this Saturday. New Hampshire Landscape in Motion begins at 8:30 a.m. today at Concord Chambers of Commerce. The 28th Annual Hawaiian Weekend begins at 8:30 a.m. today at Pat's Peak. Storytime, Concord Library Heights Branch at 9:30 a.m. The 2018/2019 Winter Farmers Market at Cole Gardens at 10 o'clock a.m. Maple Sugaring Season, Families, 10 o'clock a.m. at Prescott Farm Environmental Education Center. Lamont Gallery presents William Kettridge Universal Archivist at 10 o'clock a.m. at Lamont Gallery. Creative Computer Challenging at 10 o'clock a.m. at C Science Center. And Abstract Painting by Rose Bynert, Exeter, opening Reputation at Art Front Street at 10 o'clock a.m. at Art Up Front Street Studio and Gallery. And those are a look at events happening today here in New Hampshire. If you want to see more about those events, you can just go to Union Leader and click on New Hampshire Life and click on the calendar and see all those events. Empire actor Jesse Smollett hit with 16-count felony indictment by grand jury. Let's take a listen to this video from ABC News.
Please see if there's better out there.
Ask the internet.
Ask your friends.
Ask your coworkers. We're pretty sure they'll send you over to us.
Because we're not just a bank.
We're an ally. Ally, this is Pamela. How can I help you?
Jesse Smollett case. We're going to do that, George, because he is maintaining his innocence this morning as he faces charges accused of filing a false police report about that alleged hate crime in Chicago. The superintendent of the Chicago Police Department, Eddie Johnson, is going to join us live exclusively in just a moment. But first, Eva Pilgrim is there in Chicago with the latest. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Robin. Jesse Smollett is out on bond this morning for the first time. We're getting a look at a key piece of evidence.
This morning, Jesse Smollett digging in, denying he staged a racist and homophobic attack. His TV dad coming to his defense as the show they worked on, Empire, pulls Smollett's character from the last 2 episodes of the season to avoid further disruption on set. Terrence Howard posting on Instagram, "The Jesse I know could never even conceive of something so unconscious and ugly. His innocence or judgment is not for any of us to decide. Stay in your lane." Smollett charged with filing a false police report, now the center of a media frenzy, detailing the attack in an interview with ABC News.
He said, "This MAGA country punches me right in the face." So I punched it back.
But police now saying he made the whole thing up, that Smollett came up with an elaborate scheme that he planned for weeks. First, they say, sending himself a bogus, threatening letter.
When that didn't work, Smollett paid $3,500 to stage this attack and drag Chicago's reputation through the mud in the process.
But overnight, ABC News obtaining a copy of a $3,500 check appearing to be written by Smollett and made out to one of the 2 brothers who police say helped stage the attack. On the memo line, 5-week nutrition workout plan. Sources close to Smollett said Abel Osendero was training the actor for an upcoming music video. Smollett maintaining he's innocent. His attorneys calling last week's statements from police a spectacle that has no place in the American legal system, adding that Smollett feels betrayed by a system that apparently wants to skip due process and proceed directly to sentencing.
And Smollett is due back in court in March. Robin.
All right, Eva, thank you. The superintendent of the Chicago Police Department.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And an Illinois grand jury has indicted Empire actor Jesse Smollett on 16 felony counts of disorderly conduct for filing a false police report, according to the Cook County State Attorney's Office. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.